Hello, everyone, and welcome to Eye Opener Society. I want to welcome everybody back and thank you for tuning in and joining us. I've been on this kick right now where I've just been recording episodes back to back. And personally, I really should, manage my time just a little bit better because I was doing it last night and I did a couple episodes back to back. And I didn't realize just how exhausted I was. And because I'm staring at myself on the monitor, I was like, oh man, I look like crap. I need to get some sleep. So I come back the next day and I'm hitting it hard again. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that things are looking slightly better and things moving forward are going to get better. Um, we're going to talk about some cool stuff. Right now, I have Jennifer Miller, my co-host.
Hello.
Yeah, it's so great to have you back. I know we just had like a 25-minute self podcast just before hitting record here. We,
Right?
I know we just get along so well, and we just sit here and we go into this whirlwind of speech, and we could have probably recorded like 3 episodes out of that. But welcome back to the show, Jennifer. It's always great to have you here. I'm going to talk about intuition because you just mentioned something to me that um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I've been having some incidents of intuition myself. And I know if the audience has been listening, I always said I'm always trying to figure out what my gift is, what it is that, I have that could be special, that could be used for good. Obviously, not superpowers, but we all have these intuitions, we all have these gifts. And I know that I started putting things together in the past few months. And I said, wow, if I would have listened to myself better, I probably could have predicted things like my wife's car accident. I also had to go out that day too. And I kept thinking over and over, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I just reschedule my appointment? Should I go? Should I do it? And it was one of these things that was nagging at me. Like I was actually losing sleep over it because I had an appointment and I was like, wow, maybe I shouldn't go, because I know the weather's going to get bad. And it was one of these things that was repeating over and over in my mind. And I couldn't put any correlation together. So when I woke up, roads are clear all day long. The roads are clear. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'm going to go out and do my appointment. Nothing happened. But my wife went out and she had gotten into an accident. So I'm
Mm.
thinking, if I was able to put something together, maybe it had nothing to do with me. And if I would have thought about my wife, I could have probably taken steps to, change the course of the outcome. So that was my intuition. And I've had that. I've started realizing because I sit and I think a lot. I'm very critical of myself a lot. So I think, something, before, what was I thinking about? And I started realizing, yeah, I had some intrusive thoughts that I couldn't make any sense of. But at the same time, if I would have listened to them, they actually had meaning. So now I got to sit here for, anything else. I'm always waiting for some other intrusive thoughts to enter my mind. And now I could probably interpret them better. But you just mentioned to me before we got on the air that you've been having some little intuition things.
Oh, it's just been happening a lot. Like my mom will message or we'll have a conversation and I'll be like, "Yeah, I saw something about that earlier today." And then like not even 15 minutes after that, I'll have another person message me the same kind of like thing. And then another person is like close to the topic, like very close and it's kind of similar. And it's just been kind of like consecutive, but it's not all the time. And I wouldn't have thought like intrusive thoughts because sometimes it doesn't nag on me, but sometimes it does. Um, but it's been kind of eerie, and it's not all like, every day, all day. It's just, sporadically. And it kind of just makes you feel eerie and you don't really want to pay attention to it. So you kind of just don't harness it. Like you don't pay attention. You don't try to put the correlation. You're just like, oh, this is agitating, and just try to move on your day. And then you stop and think about it and you're like, huh, I could have, maybe like, oh, don't do that, or, shouldn't do this. And like when you were saying about you had that nagging feeling, like did your wife have that nagging feeling too? Or
No, she didn't. And it's pretty interesting because my wife is probably more connected than I am, with
Mhm.
intuitions and all, but she didn't have any kind of premonition or anything like that. But I was. And the thing is, I just didn't recognize it. because
Right.
everything was related to me and nothing screamed my
Oh,
wife. So I could have probably said, okay, well, it's coming to me, but it has nothing to do with me, you know? So it's interesting. Now, you're a reader anyway. You do, tea leaf readings and also you
yeah.
have some sort of
Yeah.
intuition anyway, but you're looking at something that you know how to interpret.
Um, so here's the thing. Yeah, I do read, but when you start having like the things that just keep continuously happening, I don't want to say coincidence, but eerie intuition that just keeps coming and popping up. I have OCD.
Mm,
So for me, I always feel like it's just that acting up and nagging at me.
mm,
Um, because you get those intrusive thoughts. You get just thoughts that you're like, oh my God, just stop. Like you have to tap the wall or do something else. Like I'm a blinker. I'll end up blinking a couple times and, you know, it just, if you don't do a certain thing, bad things could happen. Or you get those eerie feelings like you just have to do something, like tap on the wall. It's just weird little things like that. So for me, I just try to brush it off as one of those types of things because I cannot tell the difference. It just they nag about the same. And so when that happens, I don't pay attention to it, but then later on I'm always like, I knew this was going to happen. I had feeling, I had signs, and it wouldn't go away and I'm thinking, why didn't I pay attention to it? And then I think, and then I go about my day until the next time it happens. And I don't know why I haven't put much thought to that. I mean,
mm.
it's a,
That's the interesting thing. We just don't understand it. It comes to us, and even people, like us, we tie into the whole metaphysical community, and we don't have the answers even for ourselves. So you'll get these topics that keep reappearing and reoccurring over and over again, and I'm getting thoughts, and I'm not putting them together. And it's kind of odd to sit there and say, especially me, I was like, oh, I got to find out what my thing is, what my gift is. And then it's actually presenting itself to me, and I have no idea what it is. But this is how things happen. This is just how life happens. We need to figure them out. There's no instruction manuals to any of this. We are our own instruction manual.
the Scottish call it the sight. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard the site. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm,
The sight, like, you um don't actually see with your eyes. It's
mm,
more of like all body encompassing. Like you feel it, you just think it, and you follow it. Some people can, some people don't. It's pretty interesting though. I want to say it's almost oracle like, but I think oracles have more of like, a date, a time. They know it's going to happen.
mhm.
This is something else. I would say this is like a little subgroup,
Yeah.
Um, and I honestly like I wish I could figure out how to harness that myself, and I would definitely give you the advice, but just it is one of those things. It's just you kind of everybody just like you said brushes it off, moves about their day. Um, it would be really awesome though to like dive into that and like really try to figure that out. Have you ever thought of just writing this stuff down in a notebook maybe like right when it starts happening so then you can maybe like track it and like work with it?
Yeah, what's interesting is normally I'd write stuff down that I feel is going to be important. Like if I get some sort of vision or something, but this isn't like a vision. This is just like me questioning myself. That's all it is. Like it's like a normal human conflict. So there's nothing to write down. It's just like, should I or shouldn't I? But it's constant to the point where I'm losing sleep over it. I didn't recognize that sign because yeah, if I'm thinking about
Oh
it
yeah, you're
so
tired.
much, there's something happening. There's something trying to get through. I'm not interpreting it, and I think now that I realize it, if I focus more on what I'm thinking and my feelings, I should be able to get some sort of clarity on it from here on in because now I recognize it. Now I know the consequences. I know the outcomes. So it's just a matter, okay, if I got something coming up and if I start feeling or start thinking that way again, now I know what to focus on and say, okay, well, maybe it has nothing to do with me. It might have something to do with somebody else. So let me change the course of events to prevent bad things from happening. Because it's even like right now, things are starting to look up and I'm getting better feelings than I had in, like, let's say the past 2 weeks. Things are just coming on that upswing on the pendulum. So I'm not feeling anything bad. I'm about to do something financially that would normally crush me, but I'm feeling good about it. So I know I can move forward with it. So these thoughts are moving much more freely. So now I'm focused on that.
Uh, Another thing to think about, okay? Don't kill me. Uh, like how we said, like the sight and those feelings, maybe it's your spirit guides trying to communicate with you, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like,
Yeah, and that's probably the other thing I got to concentrate on more. I probably got to visit my psychic for that. Is I got to figure out my spirit guides anyway. I don't know who they are, so I
who you
don't know.
drawn to?
Yeah, so I need to get that information. This way I understand them better, because otherwise I'm just listening to voices and I have no idea the thoughts behind those voices. So once I get to know the spirit guides, it should come much more clearly, because now I got something to put to that voice, a personality behind it, so I can understand it and it helps with the interpretations.
Right. I like that. I
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Actually, like delving in and looking into things instead of just brushing it off. Me, like if I'm getting woke up in the middle of the night because I'm so tired from having so many kids, um, I'm just gonna be brushing it off, trying to go back to sleep and getting mad that I can't sleep. It's just one of those things, like the tiredness. Like when you said that, I automatically thought if that was me, I'd be like, why can't I sleep? And it would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just me. I brush stuff off, unfortunately. You, at least you take a active role in, like, wanting to, like, know and learn those things about yourself. I'm just kind of to the point where, ugh, another day.
Hmm. Yeah, it makes life easier. It makes it more interesting. And yeah, I do. I like to dive down those little rabbit holes because they're informative and they really do help out. And they help out with your spirit. And then you don't have to worry about, it's just another day. Now it's going to be another adventure rather than just another day. So for everybody out there in the audience too, just I'm always telling you guys as well, think about what it is that you have as a gift. There's many, I know many people out there that know and understand their gifts and they're using them. And then there's many people that are just sitting there saying, well, I don't have a gift, which I think is wrong. I think everybody has a gift and we just need to find what it is. So dig in there deep, ask the questions, think, meditate, learn, and hopefully you'll find exactly what it is that you need and you start understanding yourself a lot better. So I'm going to let you all know that I'm going to end this episode because I think we're going to record a second episode. Like I said, I'm doing everything all at once. So I got a nice little library of stuff. So I got stuff to fall back on. But I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. And, I love the audience. You guys are really the best. Don't forget you can hear us all on eyeopenersociety.podbean.com. Don't forget at the top of that page, there is a link under talk show. Go there, follow us, because Jennifer and I were going to have on February 5th
Mm,
the live talk show. And I want everybody to be there and I want everybody to join in. It might take
yeah.
a while to take off, but Jennifer and I, we are looking forward to having you there and joining in on the conversations and topics. So go ahead and do that. And also don't forget, we're also on YouTube as well. So you can find us pretty much anywhere. So we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you all so very much.